Hello everyone, myself Bismi Picharian, Assistant Professor at Suresh Ganvi High University. Today we are going to discuss about the diuretics drugs, okay, chemistry of the diuretic drugs, and I have already discussed the two classification of the diuretics. Means first one was the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor and the second one was the loop diuretic. So I have already discussed about the chemistry of the carbonic anhydrase inhibitors as well as the loop diuretics. Okay, and in today's class I'm going to discuss about the thiazide diuretics. So learning objectives, this lesson will help the students to understand the mechanism of action and the uses of the diuretics. Okay, so here we are discussing about the thiazide diuretics. Learning objectives, learning outcomes are, after this lesson students will be able to describe the SAR, mechanism of action and uses of the diuretics, means thiazide diuretics. So we have already seen what is the diuretics drug. So diuretics drugs are those drugs that increases the rate of the urine formation, and the primary action of these drugs are inhibit the sodium reabsorption and increase the excretion of the sodium accompanied with a chloride atom. Okay, chloride ion in the urine. Okay, so it increases the urine formation, and in that urine this excreted the sodium and chloride ion. Okay, and the sodium chloride is the main factor of the extracellular fluid volume, and when the sodium chloride is excreted through the urine, and so that decreases the total content of the sodium chloride. Okay, so this diuretic drugs increases the urine formation as well as increases the increases the sodium chloride excretion and decreases the sodium chloride content in the body. So this is all about the diuretics. Here there are four major sites in the nephron where these diuretic drugs are act. Okay, so first site is PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Second is ascending loop of Henle, descending convoluted tubule, and the late distal tubule and the collecting duct. So this is the structure of the nephron, and these are the four sites of the diuretic drugs, four sites where the diuretic drugs act. So classification of diuretics, we have already seen that. So first site, at the site 1, the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor acts at the site 1. And the loop diuretic or the high ceiling diuretic that acts at the site 2 diuretics. Okay, site 2 means the loop of Henle. And site at the site 3, that is distal convoluted tubule. Okay, the thiazide acts at the site 3 and that is distal convoluted tubule. And at the site 4, that means post DCT. Okay, so the potassium sparing diuretics act at the site 4. So this is the classification of the diuretics. So here we are discussing the thiazide diuretics, means the drug that act at the site 3, means distal convoluted tubule. And there are the thiazide and the thiazide diuretics that act at the site 3. These agents are 1,2,4 benzothiazide, benzothiazine 1,1-dioxide derivatives. Okay, benzothiazide, thiazidine 1,1-dioxide derivatives, and these are known as thiazides and the hydrothiazides. Okay, thiazides and the hydrothiazides. So here is the structure of the thiazide diuretics, and okay, so this is the main structure of the thiazide diuretics. This is the benzene ring here, and this is the pyrimidine ring here. Okay, that contain 2N and 1S. Okay, so this is the structure of the thiazide diuretics, and when we are going to number this, we have to start from this S number. Okay, this S is first position, this is second position, three position, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have going to number like this. Okay, we have to start from the S, and there are some drugs. The example of the thiazide diuretics means the chlorothiazide. When we are attaching the chloride atom at the R position, okay, at the sixth position, if we are substituting any chloride atom, that becomes chlorothiazides. Okay, and at the R1 position we have to add the H ion. Okay, and there is another example of the drug thiazide. Okay, so in this benzthiazide we are substituting the chlorine at the position of 6, and at the R1 position we have to substitute this ring here. And then in the diuretics there should be a sulfonamide group. Okay, so this is the sulfonamide group is main main group for the activity of this drug. Okay, so this is the main structure of the thiazide diuretic. You have to remember this, you have to learn this structure, because this is the main structure of the drug. And next drug is hydrothiazide. Okay, in the hydrothiazide there is little difference between the thiazide drug and the hydrothiazide drug. Okay, so let's see what is the difference. Okay, see this structure. Okay, in this ring, there is no, at the between 3 and the 4th position there is no no double bond here. Okay, but in the thiazide diuretics, okay, between the 3 and 4th position there is a double bond. Okay, there is a double bond. So this is the difference between the thiazide diuretics and the hydrothiazide diuretics. Okay, so at the R position there should be a chloride. Okay, and at the R1 position there, in between the 3 and 4 there should be a double bond in the thiazide diuretics, and in the hydrothiazide diuretics, okay, in the hydrothiazide diuretic there is no double bond between the 3 and 4th position. Okay, so this is the difference between the thiazide and the hydrothiazide diuretic. So in this one example is hydrochlorothiazide. So chlorothiazide is there, and the next example is hydrochlorothiazides. Okay, so in the hydrochlorothiazide also there is no double bond, and at the 6th position there should be a chloride group. Okay, the chloride group here, and sulfonamide is all present. So this is the difference between the hydrothiazide and the thiazide. In the thiazide ring there is a double bond between the 3rd and 4th position, but in the hydrothiazide there is no double bond between the 3 and 4th position. Okay, so let's say common mechanism of action of the thiazide diuretics. So these diuretics blocks the reabsorption of the sodium. Okay, reabsorption of the sodium in the distal convoluted tubule, because these drugs act at the distal convoluted tubule. Okay, at the position at the side 3, and the side 3 is the distal convoluted tubule. Okay, so this blocks the reabsorption of the sodium as well as the chloride in the distal convoluted tubule by inhibiting the luminal membrane bound sodium chloride co-transport system. Okay, so it blocks the reabsorption of the sodium and the chloride in the distal convoluted tubule by inhibiting the luminal membrane bound sodium chloride co-transport system. So this is the common mechanism of action. Okay, let's see some adverse effect of this hazard drug. Hypersensitivity reactions, hypokalemia, slight reduction in the cardiac output. Okay, so there are some adverse effect. The first one is hypersensitivity reaction. Okay, the hypokalemia means loss of the potassium, and slight reduction in the cardiac output is also the adverse effect of the thiazide drug. Let's see the uses of the thiazide drug. Extremely used. This thiazide drug is extremely useful in the treatment of edema associated with mild to moderate congestive heart failure. Okay, so this thiazide diuretics we are using in the treatment of the edema that is associated with the CHF, congestive heart failure. Other uses included hypertension, diabetes insipidus. Okay, so this thiazide drug we are using in the treatment of edema, that edema associated with the CHF, and it is also used in the hypertension. It is also used in the treatment of the hypertension and the diabetes patient. Okay, so let's see the structural activity relationship. Okay, so substitution at the position 2 with small alkyl groups such as methyl, okay, does not change the activity. Let's see that. Okay, at the 2nd position here if we are substituting any small group, means methyl group, so that doesn't affect the diuresis activity. Okay, diuretic activity of this drug. Okay, if we are substituting any small group, that doesn't affect the activity of the drug. Then next is substituents at the position 3 determine the potency and the duration of the action of the thiazide diuretics. Okay, so at the position 3, okay, if we are substitution at the position 3, that determine the potency of the drug. So in our chlorothiazide as well as the hydrothiazide, okay, chlorothiazide and in the hydrochlorothiazide, at the 3 position we are substituting the H here. So, okay, so substitution at the 3rd position, that should determine, that depends on the potency of the drug. Okay, so the 3rd position, substituents at the position 3, that determine the potency and the duration of the action of the thiazide diuretics. So we are in the chlorothiazide as well as the hydrochlorothiazide, we are substituting the H group, hydrogen group only. Okay, and the loss of the carbon-carbon double bond between the 3 and the 4th position, the thiazide nucleus, increases the potency approximately 3 to 10 folds. Okay, so the carbon-carbon double bond between the 3 and 4th position. Okay, if we are removing this, okay, if we are removing this double bond from here, 3 and between the 3 and 4th position, if we are removing that double bond, that increases the potency of the drug 4 to 10 folds more. Okay, so in the hydrochlorothiazide there is no double bond, so the hydrochlorothiazide is more potent than the chlorothiazides. Okay, so loss of the double bond between the 3 and 4th position, that increases the potency of the drug 4 to 10 folds more time. Okay, so in the, so we are concluding that the hydrochlorothiazide is more potent, okay, 10 times more potent than the normal chlorothiazide, because in normal chlorothiazide there is a double bond between the 3 and 4th position, but in the hydrochlorothiazide there is no double bond between the 3 and 4th position. Okay, loss of this double bond, that increases the potency of the drug, means that increases the potency of the drug 4 to 10 folds more time. Okay, so we have covered 3 points here. Then 4th point is direct substitution at the 458. 458, okay, with an alkyl group usually diminishes the diuretic activity. Okay, if we are substituting any alkyl group at the 4th position, at the 5th position and the 8th position, that decreases the diuretic activity. Okay, so you have to remember that at the 4th position, 5th position, 8th position, if we are substituting any alkyl group in this position, that decreases the diuretic activity. Okay, so these three position should be unsubstituted. Okay, and substitution at the 6th position with an activating group is essential for the diuretic activity. Okay, substitution at the 6th position, that should be activating group. Okay, that should be essential for the diuretic activity. Okay, so the best substituent include the chloride, bromide, CF3NO2 groups. Okay, so in our hydrochlorothiazide and the chlorothiazide, we are substituting the chloride group at the 6th position. Okay, and at the 6th position, activating group is must for the diuretic activity. Okay, for example, replacement of 6 chloride by 6 CF3 does not change the potency. Okay, so in the chlorothiazide, there is a chloride group at the 6th position. Okay, if we are substituting that Cl with CF3, that doesn't change the potency of the drug, but that change the name of the drug. Okay, so if we are substituting if we are replacing the chloride with the CF3, that doesn't change the potency of the drug, whereas replacement with methyl group, that reduces the diuretic activity. Okay, if we are substituting the chloride chloride group with CS3 group, okay, if we are substituting here CS3 group, that decreases the diuretic activity. So at the position 6, we should substitute the chloride group, bromide group, CF3 group, or NO2 group. That doesn't change the activity of the group. But if we are substituting the CS3 group here, that decreases the diuretic activity. The sulfonamide group at the position 7 is essential for the diuretic activity, and removal of this group yield the compound with little or more diuretic activity. Okay, so at the 7th position there should be a sulfonamide group, and that sulfonamide group is necessary for the diuretic activity. So we have completed the SAR of the thiazide drug. So let's see once again the SAR of the drug. So this is the main structure of the thiazide group. Okay, so we are going to number this structure. So we have to start from this S. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this is the numbering of the thiazide group. And if we are introducing any chloride group at the 6th position, that increases the activity. Or if you are substituting at any Cl group, Br group, CF3 group, or NO2 group, okay, that increases the diuretic activity. But if we are substituting any methyl group, that reduces the activity. Okay, and if we are removing this, okay, if you are removing this double bond, that increases the potency of the drug up to 10 folds more. Okay, so the hydrochlorothiazide is more potent than the chlorothiazide. Okay, because in the hydrochlorothiazide there is no double bond between the 3rd and 4th position, but in the chlorothiazide group there is a double bond between the 3rd and the 4th position. Okay, and if we are substituting any methyl group or the alkyl group at the 4th position, 5th position, and the 8th position, that decreases the diuretic activity. Okay, and at the 7th position there should be a sulfonamide group. Okay, that is essential for the diuretic activity. Okay, and let's see. Okay, 2nd position methyl group. Okay, so if we are introducing any methyl group at the 2nd position, that doesn't change, that doesn't affect the diuretic activity. Next is the substituent at the position 3, that determine the substituent at the position 3 that determine the potency of the drug. So these are the SAR of the thiazide drug. Means these group depends on the activity of the diuretic activity of this thiazide group. Okay, so first must group is sulfonamide group at the 7th position, that should be must for the diuretic activity. Okay, and at the 6th position there should be a Cl group, Br group, CF3 group, or NO2 group. Okay, if you are substituting any methyl group, that reduces the activity. Okay, and at the 2nd position, if we are introducing any, if we are substituting any small alkyl group such as methyl group, that doesn't affect the activity of the diuretic activity of the drug. And loss of this double bond, okay, loss of the double bond between the 3rd and the 4th position, that increases the activity of the drug up to 10 folds more. Okay, so these are the SAR of the thiazide drug. So first example of the thiazide drug is chlorothiazide. Okay, chlorothiazide. So sorry, so this is the structure of the chlorothiazide. At the between the 3rd and 4th position, there is a double bond. At the 6th position there is a chloride group. At the 7th position there is a sulfonamide group. Okay, so we have to number from here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, and 4th, 5th, and 8th group must be unsubstituted, and this is the coming under in the category of the thiazide diuretics. Let's see the mechanism of action. Chlorothiazide prevents the active chloride reabsorption at the early distal tubule through the sodium chloride co-transporters. Okay. So what does chlorothiazide do? Chlorothiazide prevent the active chloride reabsorption. Okay. Chlorothiazide prevent the chloride reabsorption or the early distal tubule. Okay. Because these drugs act at the site 3, and site 3 is distal converted tubule. So this reabsorption is prevented at the distal tubule through the sodium chloride co-transporters, okay, which results in the increase in the excretion of the sodium chloride and the water from the body. Okay, so what this drug do? This drug prevent the active chloride reabsorption at the distal tubule through the sodium chloride co-transporter, that results in the increase in the excretion of the sodium chloride water from the body. The drug also bind with the thiazide sensitive sodium chloride co-transporters. Okay, this drug also bind with the thiazide sensitive sodium chloride co-transporters and prevent sodium ion transport across the renal tubular epithelium. Okay, this prevent the sodium ion transport across the renal tubular epithelium, and that increases the potassium excretion through the NAK exchange mechanism. Okay, so this binding of the drug to the thiazide sensitive NaCl transporters, okay, and that prevent the sodium ion across the renal tubular epithelium, that increases the potassium excretion through the NaK exchange mechanism, and it can also mediate its action on the carbonic anhydrase in smooth muscle or on the large conductance potassium calcium channel found in the smooth muscle. So this is the mechanism of action of the chlorothiazide. So SAR, the general structure of the thiazide is summarized. Chlorothiazide is the simplest member of the series. Okay, hydrogen atom at the N2 is the most acidic due to the presence of the electron withdrawing group. Sulfonamide group at the 7th position, that is must. Additional activity. Okay, electron withdrawing group is essential at position C. Okay, for the diuretic activity. Substitution on the hydrogen at the 6th position gives the little diuretic activity, whereas the substitution with chloro trifluoromethyl gives the active compound. Okay, so these all are the electron withdrawing group is essential at the position 6 for the diuretic activity of the drug. Substitution on the hydrogen at the 6th position gives little diuretic activity, whereas the substitution with the chloro and the trifluoromethyl group gives highly active compounds. So this SAR we have already seen. Let's see the synthesis of the chlorothiazide. Okay, chlorothiazide. So sulfonyl chlorination of the 3-chloroanidine using chlorosulfonic acid that produce 4,6-sulfonochloride 3-chloroanidine. Okay, when this chloroaniline reacted with the chlorosulfonic acid, that gives us 4,6-sulfonochloride 3-chloroanidine. Okay, and this 4,6-sulfonochloride 3-chloroaniline reacted with the ammonia to give 4,6-sulfonamido 3-chloroanidine. Okay, after that, when we are heating this above product, okay, 4,6-sulfonamido 3-chloroanidine. Okay, when we are heating this product, we will get our, okay, when we are heating this 4,6-sulfonamido 3-chloroanidine with formamide, that produce the chlorothiazide drug. Okay, let's see this is the 3-chloroanidine. Okay, this is the 3-chloroaniline 1, 2, 3. At the 3 position, there is a chloride atom. Okay, chloride group. So this is the 3-chloroaniline. This is the aniline structure. Okay, this is the 3-chloroaniline, and this is the structure of the chlorosulfonic acid. Okay, chlorosulfonic acid. Okay, so when this 3-chloroaniline reacted with the chlorosulfonic acid, this gives the product 4-amino 6-chlorobenzene 1,3-disulfonyl chloride. Okay, so this gives 4-amino. Okay, 4-amino 6-chloro 1,3-disulfonyl chloride. So here this is numbering from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 4-amino 6-chlorobenzene 1,3-disulfonyl chloride. Okay, this is disulfonyl chloride. Then this 4-amino 6-chlorobenzene reacted with the ammonia, that gives 4,6-sulfonyl amido 3-chloroaniline. Okay, sulfonyl amido 3-chloroamidine. When this product, when we heated this product and formamide, after that we will get chlorothiazide drug. So this is the synthesis of the chlorothiazide. This synthesis is very important, as well as the SAR of the thiazide is also very important. Okay, so you have to learn with the help of the structure. Okay, so what this reaction do here? This ring is same in this structure, in this product. Okay, so SO2Cl these two group comes at the first and the second position. Okay, and when this ammonia reacted with this product, we will get this product. Okay, this N N NH2. Okay, NH2 comes here, SO2 NH2, SO2 NH2. Okay, and after that when we heat this product with formamide, then we will get this chlorothiazide group. Okay, chlorothiazide. So this is the synthesis of the chlorothiazide. Let's see the medicinal uses of the chlorothiazide. Chlorothiazide is used for the management of hypertension, management of edema. Okay, this is used for management of the hypertension, management of the edema that associated with the CHF. Okay, and for increasing the effectiveness of other antihypertensive drug in severe conditions. So this is the used in the to manage the hypertension, the management of the edema, and for increasing the effectiveness of other antihypertensive drug in severe conditions. So these are the uses of the chlorothiazide. Let's see the hydrochlorothiazide. The difference between the chlorothiazide and the hydrochlorothiazide is, in the chlorothiazide, both are the same structure, but one difference is that in chlorothiazide there is a double bond between third and fourth position, but in hydrochlorothiazide there is no double bond between the third and the fourth position. Okay, so this is the main difference. Okay, so you have to remember this. This is the main difference. 1, 2, 3, this position and between this position. Okay, 3 and 4th position, and this is coming under in the category of thiazide diuretic. So the SAR of the chlorothiazide and the hydrochlorothiazide both are same, but just here we want the double bond in the chlorothiazide. Okay, so this hydrochlorothiazide is more potent than the chlorothiazide because there is no double bond between the third and the fourth position. So the SAR says loss of the double bond increases the potency of the drug 10 up to 4 to 10 folds more. Okay, and the sulfonamide group is must in the hydrochlorothiazide. Okay, at the 6th position there should be a chloride group, and the 4th, 5th, and 8th position should be unsubstituted. Okay, and at the 7th position there should be a sulfonamide group. So this is the SAR of the drug. Okay, let's see the mechanism of action. Hydrochlorothiazide inhibit the reabsorption by the sodium chloride imported by acting on the proximal region of the DCT. So this drug is also again act on the DCT, distal convergent tubule. So this inhibit the reabsorption by sodium chloride importers. Okay, and inhibition of this reduces the concentration gradient magnitude between the DCT and the epithelial cells, which results in the reduction in the reabsorption of the water. Okay, so there is a concentration gradient between the DCT and the epithelial cells that inhibit that reduces the reabsorption of the water. Let's see the medicinal uses of the hydrochlorothiazide. So this hydrochlorothiazide we are using in the treatment of, in the management of the hypertension and the management of the edema related to the CHF, chronic renal failure, glomerulonephritis, nephritic syndrome, and the hepatic cirrhosis. So we are using this hydrochlorothiazide drug in this to treat these diseases. Next drug is hydroflumethiazide. Hydroflumethiazide. Okay, methiazide. Okay, hydroflumethiazide. So this is again the same structure. Okay, this is again the same structure, but at the 6th position there 3 fluoride. Okay, the 6th position we have to number from this S 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at the between the 3 and 4th position there is no double bond, and at the 6th position there is a hydrofluoride. Okay, and at the 7th position there is a sulfonamide group. So the sulfonamide group is must for the diuretic activity. Hydroflumethiazide. Let's see the mechanism of action of this drug. Hydroflumethiazide inhibit the sodium chloride imported in the DCT. Okay, This also inhibit the sodium chloride is imported in the DCT, which further inhibit the reabsorption of the water. Okay, that inhibit the reabsorption of the water. Sodium chloride transporter facilitate the entrance of the sodium into the epithelial cells in the DCT. Okay, the sodium chloride transporter facilitate the entrance of the sodium into the epithelial cells in the DCT. Okay, and the influx of the sodium establishes an osmotic gradient which is necessary for water reabsorption. Okay, so the sodium chloride transporter facilitate the entrance of the sodium into the DCT through the epithelial cells. Okay, and that influx of the sodium establishes an osmotic gradient which is necessary for water reabsorption. The medicinal uses of the hydroflumethaxide, okay, methaxide is this is used in the treatment of in the management of the hypertension, in the treatment of the edema that is really associated with the CHF, congestive heart failure, chronic renal failure, glomerulonephritis, nephritic syndrome, and the hepatic cirrhosis. So this drug is used in these diseases. Next drug is cyclothiazide. Okay, cyclothiazide. So in this cyclothiazide, the one additional ring is here, and here sulfonamide group is here. Okay, so this is the main structure of the thiazide group. Okay, so this is the structure of the sixth position. There is a chloride group. So seventh position should be a sulfonamide group. So this is the cyclothiazide. So mechanism of action. Okay, mechanism of action. It has a role as a diuretic and an antihypertensive agent. Okay, it has a role as a diuretic and the antihypertensive agent. The cyclothiazide inhibit active chloride reabsorption. Okay, cyclothiazide inhibit active chloride reabsorption at the early distal tubule via sodium chloride co-transporter. That results in an increase in the excretion of the sodium chloride and the water. So this cyclothiazide, what they do, that inhibit the active chloride reabsorption. Okay, inhibit the active chloride reabsorption at the early distal tubule via sodium chloride co-transporters. That results in an increase in the excretion of the sodium chloride and the water. So this is the mechanism of action. So in this thiazide diuretic, the two things are very important. Okay, first one is the SAR of the thiazide. Okay, SAR of the thiazide diuretic, and second is the synthesis of the chlorothiazide. So we will see the SAR of the thiazide ring, thiazide diuretics once again. So this is the structure of the thiazide diuretics. Okay, we have to learn this structure first. Okay, we must learn the structure first. Without this structure, we can't write the SAR of the thiazide group. Okay, when we are writing the SAR of any group or any category of the drug, we have to write first the structure. Okay, yeah, we have to write first the structure, and we have to number that structure. Okay, with the help of the numbering system, we can elaborate the SAR of that structure. Okay, so this is very important in the medicinal chemistry. You have to learn how to number the structure. Okay, so in the thiazide diuretics, we have to number this from this S. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the numbering of the thiazide group. So at the second position, if we are substituting any small alkyl group such as methyl group, that doesn't affect the diuretic activity of the drug. Okay. And at the R1 position, the third position depends. Okay, the third position determines the activity of the drug. The substitution at the third position, that determines the activity of the drug. Okay, so here in the chlorothiazide as well as the hydrochlorothiazide, we are substituting the hydrogen group here. Okay, and the double bond between the third and the fourth position. Okay, loss of the double bond between the third and the fourth position that increases the activity of increases the potency of the drug 4 to 10 folds. Okay, it means that increases the potency up to 10 folds more. Okay, so the hydrochlorothiazide doesn't have the double bond between the 3 and 4th position, but the chlorothiazide have double bond between the 3 and 4th position. So the hydrochlorothiazide is more potent than the chlorothiazides. Okay, and if we are okay, if we are in substituting any group at the 4th position, 5th position, at the 8th position, that decreases the activity. So the 4th position, 5th position, and the 8th position, that should be unsubstituted. Okay, and at the R position, okay, at the 6th position, that there should be a chloride group, okay, Cl group, Br group, or a CF3 group or an NO2 group. Okay, so if we are substituting any chloride group here, that should increase the activity. If you are substituting a bromide group, that increases the activity. If you are substituting a CF3 group, that increases the diuretic activity. If you are introducing any NO2 group, that also increases the activity. But if we are substituting any methyl group at the 6th position, that decreases the activity of the diuresis. Okay, so this is very important. We have to substitute any chloride, bromide, CF3NO2 group here. And at the 7th position, there should be a sulfonyl group for the diuretic activity. Okay, at the 7th position, there should be a sulfonamide group for the diuretic activity. So this SAR is very important in the thiazide diuretic. Okay, and the structure you have, this is the structure you have to learn first, and you have to write the SAR according to the structure. Okay, this structure says everything about the SAR of this thiazide drug. Okay, and if we are if we are substituting H here and the Cl here with double bond, that is known as chlorothiazide. If we are substituting H here and the chloride here without this double bond, that is called as hydrochlorothiazide. Okay, so these two drugs are very important, and the synthesis of the chlorothiazide is again very important. Let's see the synthesis of the chlorothiazide once again. So this is the 3-chloroaniline. Okay, 3-chloroaniline. Okay, this is the structure of 3-chloroaniline. And when this 3-chloroaniline reacted with the chlorosulfonic acid, this is the structure of the chlorosulfonic acid. When this 3-chloroaniline reacted with the chlorosulfonic acid, that gives the product 4-amino-6-chlorobenzene 1,3-disulfonyl dichloride. Okay, 1,3-disulfonyl dichloride. And this when this 4-amino-6-chlorobenzene 1,3-disulfonyl chloride reacted with ammonia, then we will get the 4,6-sulfonyl amido 3-chloroaniline. Okay, when these two reacted together, when at that time we will get 4,6-sulfonyl amido 3-chloroaniline. And when this product reacted with the formamide, then we will get our chlorothiazide. Okay, so this is very easy synthesis. In this thiazide diuretic, you have to learn. There is two important portion. That first one is the SAR of the thiazide and the synthesis of the chlorothiazide. You have to learn each and every drug structure. Okay, that is important again. So next our drugs category, the classification of the diuretics is potassium sparing diuretics. Okay, that act at the site 4 of the nephron. The negative feature of all the above discussed classes of the diuretics is that they increases the renal excretion rate of the potassium and can induce the hypokalemia. Okay, all the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, loop diuretics, and the thiazide diuretics, they decreases the potassium level. Okay, that causes the hypokalemia all about the drug. Okay, but in the potassium sparing diuretics, there is no loss of the potassium. 3 chemically distinct diuretics have emerged that increases the sodium in the chloride excretion without a concomitant increase in the urinary excretion rate of the potassium. So today I am just discussing about the potassium sparing. In our next class, we will discuss all the potassium sparing diuretics in details. Okay, so the three chemically distinct diuretics have emerged that increase sodium chloride excretion without the increase in the urinary excretion rate. These agents are known as potassium sparing agents. Means the potassium sparing agents, what they do, they increases the sodium and chloride excretion without increasing the excretion of the potassium. Okay, so the potassium sparing diuretics, all other diuretics, what they do, they increases the excretion of the sodium, chloride, and the potassium. Three of the these ions excreted through the urine. But in the potassium sparing diuretics, what they do, they increases the sodium and the chloride excretion, but they doesn't increases the excretion of the potassium. So this is the main difference between the potassium sparing diuretics and other diuretics. Okay, other diuretics, what they do, they increases the excretion of the sodium, chloride, and the potassium, all three ions. Okay, but the potassium sparing diuretics, what they do, they increases the sodium and the chloride excretion, but they doesn't increases the excretion of the potassium. Okay, and the potassium sparing diuretics potassium sparing diuretics are divided into two groups on the basis of the mechanism of action. Okay, so first one is sodium channel inhibitors, that is trimetrin and the amiloride, and the aldosterone antagonist is spironolactone. So these two main classification of the potassium sparing diuretics. Okay, so today in today's class I just discussed only the what are the potassium sparing diuretics. Okay, in our next class we will discuss more about that. Means we will discuss the all of the drug coming under the potassium sparing diuretics. Okay, all of the mechanism of action. Okay, and the uses of that drug, and what, and the SAR of the potassium sparing diuretics we will discuss in our next class. Okay, in this class there is no synthesis in our syllabus, so we will not discuss any syllabus in this topic. Let's see some MCQs regarding the thiazide diuretics. So the type of the ring system found in the structure of the drug chlorothiazide is the benzothiazine ring. Okay, benzothiazine ring is present in the chlorothiazide ring. The mechanism of action of the hydrofluorothiazide includes inhibition of the sodium chloride importer in the DCT. Correct sequence for true or false for the classification of the drug can be hydrochlorothiazide is sedative hypnotics. No. Amyl nitrate alpha hydrogenergic blocker. No. Methoxyacetylene beta adrenergic blocker. No. Nefazolin inhalation anesthetics. No. So the correct answer is C. Okay, false, false, false. All the things are false here. So correct answer is C. Type of the ring present in the structure of the hydrofluomethazide, because these all are drugs are coming under the thiazide diuretics. Okay, so the ring in these drugs are benzothiazine ring. Type of the ring present in the structure of the hydrochlorothiazide. So benzothiazine. Answer is D. Yes. The correct order of the synthesis of the drug chlorothiazide from 3-chloroaniline can be intermolecular dehydration. No. Sulfonyl chlorination. Yes. Reaction with ammonia. Yes. Heating with formamide. So first we have to do the sulfonyl chlorination of the 3-chloroaniline. After that we have to that product reacted with ammonia, and after that product reacted with formamide. So correct answer is 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Next is an example of the drug from the class thiazide diuretics. Chlorothiazide is the thiazide diuretic. Amphetamine, no. Alprazolam, no. Isosorbitide, no. So correct answer is chlorothiazide. So these all are about the MCQs of this thiazide diuretics. Okay, so this is all about the thiazide diuretics. We will see tomorrow in the potassium sparing diuretics. Okay, we have covered in the diuretics. First one I have covered the carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. second was loop diuretics, and in today's class I have covered all the thiazide diuretics. In next class I am discussing about the potassium sparing diuretics. So I hope everything understood it very well. So thank you.